Oh, hi kids. You're gonna like my video, aren't you? It's Mr. Lee. I'm back again. Same hammock chair that I'm swinging in. Got another weekly packet review. Pay good attention and you know what to do. Even though you're not in school, try to stay rhyming because that's really cool. That's all the rhymes that I got for now. If we need to spell move, don't spell it like a cow. And if you didn't get that last line, I can tell you didn't watch the video last time. So go back and do that. And this rhyme is A-rap. Let's get back to that packet. And by back, I mean let's start. All right, just like last time, first thing we're gonna do, up in the top right-hand corner of each page, we're gonna number them off with our science section, but we're gonna make it a race, so don't start yet, okay? I'm gonna see, even though I got this little snazzy computer version and I'm just scrolling on my screen, you can flip pages pretty quick, so I'm gonna see, can you beat me numbering this off? You're gonna start when I say go, okay? All right, stop. You know who you are. I don't even have to say your name. You know who you are. Go back and scribble that out. You need to start when I say go. No, not you. I'm talking to the other person watching the video. This is a race. You gotta go when I say go, all right? We don't want any false starts. All right, on your mark, get set, and go. Okay, 1, 2, oh, come on now. See, I got glitches. Oh my goodness. I'm still gonna beat y'all though. Science 4. Oh my goodness, this is a conspiracy. See, my S's are disappearing. This is not even fair. I thought I was gonna beat y'all, but you're probably beating me already. That is the 4th S that's disappeared. I don't even know what's happening over here. And 10. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, you probably beat me, which is good because my stuff's messing up. All right, we're gonna, same as last video. I'm just gonna kind of walk through the packet with you real quick, hit some highlights, and then you're gonna complete it by yourself throughout the week, or maybe just sit down and get it all done one time, however you choose to do it. All right, again, this is my little lava line. So if I'm using this, don't mark it down, it's gonna disappear. All right, we're talking about matter again. Last time we talked specifically about the 3 states of matter. So we already looked at this section right here in pretty good detail last week. You should recognize these little drawings. We created those by ourselves. We have the solid, the molecules are squeezed and squished in. It's gonna stay the same shape. Right here, you got the liquid, a little bit more loose. It lets it move, so it'll spill out and form a puddle. The molecules of a gas is going everywhere, got lots of gaps. So you should remember that from the last video. All right, I have a couple sections that I'm gonna focus on that are highlighted. You don't necessarily need a highlighter, but when I start to mark stuff, underline, put a box around it, you can copy that down. All right, so now types of changes in matter. A physical change, and by the way, if you hear a lawnmower in the background, that's because my neighbor's cutting the grass, is when matter changes size, shape, or state. Let me make this a little bit thicker here. Hold on. There we go. But it does not change the particles that make up matter. So an example could be if you have a lump of clay or Play-Doh, if you have like a big ball of clay and then you shape it into a bowl, it's still the same Play-Doh or clay. It's nothing really different. You just change the shape of it. A chemical change, or it changes what particles of matter are made of. So it's gonna actually change it chemically, and it produces a new kind of matter. So that's the main difference there, something that's gonna be new. So an example could be like if you take baking soda and combine it with vinegar, it's gonna create carbon dioxide. So that's a pretty popular science experiment. You can see it's got a little image of it right down here. If you have a little beaker or even some sort of cup or something at home, you put baking soda with vinegar, it's gonna start to fizz and bubble up, like how you do that classic volcano science fair project where it erupts with the lava spilling everywhere. All right, so properties of matter, you can read through this section right here on your own. You can just kind of observe and see what type of characteristics or properties the matter has. These are some ways you can measure matter, length or volume or mass on a scale. All right, the last section we're gonna really focus on a little bit is what happens when, this should say when, I believe. I think that's a typo, so let's change that. What happens when matter is mixed, dissolved, or combined? All right, so a mixture is a combination of 2 or more substances, so you're gonna combine them. In a mixture are physically combined. Let me use my little highlighter here. which means that they can be separated, okay? So that's one of the main distinctions between a mixture and a solution. They can be separated. You could unseparate them. So in class, a lot of times we talk about trail mix, the little snack that's got the pretzels and the M&Ms and the peanuts and whatever else they got up in there. You could be able to take them all apart. That's a mixture. Substances that are mixed together have the same properties as they did before they were mixed together. When you add, here's an example, when you add chocolate chips to your cookie dough before you bake the cookies, so once you put it in the oven and bake it, that's something separate. But if you just have a mixed up chocolate chips with the cookie dough, you make a mixture of the dough and the chips. You could separate them again if you had to, since they're not dissolved into each other. That's a mixture. All right, the next type that we have is a solution. And that is when one or more substances are dissolved in another substance. So it's something separate from a mixture. So one or more substances are dissolved in another substance. And there's a couple different parts of the solution. You have the solute, which is the substance that is dissolved in the solvent. So you can see they have an example down here showing lemonade, or you think about Kool-Aid. We talked about that in class. So in this example, the solute is the substance that is dissolved. So that would be like the Kool-Aid mix packet, or the sugar, or the lemon juice and lemonade. And then the solvent is the substance that dissolves. So the water is what's causing the Kool-Aid mix to dissolve. So the water in this example would be the solvent. And then solubility is referring to the ability of one substance to dissolve into another substance. So for instance, lemonade, you think about Kool-Aid, and this is one of the main distinctions here. You cannot separate it. Once you've mixed up a batch of Kool-Aid, you're not going to be able to put the little flavor sugar crystals back in the packet. It cannot be undone. It's a solution. And then compounds are substances that are made of more than one type of atom, and they're chemically combined. So a common example you know about is carbon dioxide. It's CO2. That's what we exhale. We breathe in oxygen. Our lungs process that, pump it through our bloodstream, and we exhale carbon dioxide. Another common example would be H2O, which is a scientific formula, I guess you would say, for what element. It's exactly right, water. That is a compound as well. All right, now we're gonna look at the packet. I'm gonna hit just a couple questions, and I'll show you how we're gonna refer back to the text, and it's gonna make finding our answers pretty straightforward. So number 3, matter is any substance that blank. So let's go back to the very top of our packet. We started off talking about matter. Even though we didn't mark it up, you can read through this. Matter, anything that takes up space and has mass. That's straightforward right there at the very top of the packet. So back to our question, number 3 on page 6. Matter, any substance that has mass, takes up space. So it's got to have both of those. It has mass and takes up space. You have an incorrect answer option that just talks about mass. That's partially correct, but the complete answer would be it has mass and takes up space. So that is letter A. All right, let's scroll to page, I'm scrolling, you're flipping. We're on page 7. Number 4, blank, a property of matter, is the ability of an object to be stretched without breaking. So the ability of an object to be stretched without breaking. It's got a little slingshot, like a rubber band example. So our options are flexibility, shape, density, buoyancy. You might know this just from your common knowledge, but if not, let's go back to the section talking about properties of matter. All right, so which one of these is something that talks about how something is stretched without breaking? Size, shape, mass, volume, flexibility, buoyancy. Exactly, flexibility, because the way that you use that word, just normally you think about someone that can bend over and stretch and they're flexible. So stretched without breaking, a property of matter that refers to the ability of an object that has to be stretched without breaking. So back to page 7, this is flexibility on number 4. And last question we're going to work through together, page 8, number 4, a blank is when one or more substances are dissolved in another substance. And they even helped you out with this nice little picture that we just were looking at, so I'm sure you know what section to turn to. When one or more substances are dissolved in another substance. So if you just look back, oh, whoa, what do you know? We got that same lemonade picture, so I bet we should focus right here. When one or more substances are dissolved into another substance, then we know that's a solution. So flip back to page 8. And solution is letter D. All right, so you have plenty more questions to complete in the packet, and then some fill in the blanks with the vocab and a word bank. So again, there's nothing that's super tricky if you're just carefully reading through the packet. And if you get to a question you're not sure about, since we're not in a classroom with me to kind of break things down and explain it a lot further, you could Google it. You could do some internet research, be a little scientist. Oh, hi kids. You liked my video, didn't you? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. Okay. Whew. I can relax and get a little bit of rest. Oh. Never mind. Once again, just like, hi kids, you liked my video, didn't you? If you don't get the, never mind. You need to go watch about 50 million Dr. Binocs videos. Just Google Peekaboo Kids.